On the 20th of November 2022, the rich countries of the world agreed to set up a fund to pay for some of the damage they've done by heating the planet. By burning fossil fuels, their citizens and industries have done the most to make heat waves hotter and coastal floods stronger, but they refuse to talk about cleaning up the damage.
We should not be apologizing.
Already hurting those hardworking Americans that are struggling to keep up with these lofty ideals.
This is a folly that we shouldn't be going down.
The richest countries are terrified of being held liable for violent weather, but the poorest can't afford to pay for other people's pollution.
A recent global study conducted by researchers from the University of Bonn, the Leibniz Institute of Financial Research SAFE in Frankfurt, and the University of Copenhagen shed light on public willingness to contribute financially towards combating climate change. Surveying 130,000 individuals across 125 countries, a sample size of 1,000 representative individuals per country was deemed adequate by the authors. Except for 11 nations, the majority were willing to allocate 1% of income to combat climate change. Levels of willingness varied widely, from over 90% in Myanmar and Uzbekistan to 30% in Egypt. Overall, wealthier countries showed less willingness to contribute. According to Mail Online, Professor Theodora Buneva from the University of Bonn explained that the trend may be due to two factors. Firstly, richer countries remain heavily reliant on fossil fuels, leading to perceived high adaptation cost and drastic lifestyle changes. Notably, the UK exhibited a lower propensity, with only 47.6% of respondents indicating a willingness to contribute. Similarly, in the US, just 48.1% expressed such readiness, despite the country's heavy reliance on fossil fuels, constituting 80% of its energy mix and contributing significantly to GDP. Professor Buneva, one of the researchers, emphasized that a country's GDP per capita correlates with its ability to address climate change impact. Vulnerable nations with limited resources face immediate consequences, contrasting with wealthier counterparts. Interestingly, colder countries displayed less willingness to contribute financially, suggesting that perceived immediacy of consequences influences support for climate action. Nonetheless, the study revealed a pervasive endorsement of pro-climate social norms globally, with 86% of advocating for climate actions in their countries. Surprisingly, people tended to underestimate others' willingness to contribute financially, potentially hindering collective action due to a conditional cooperator's mindset where individuals help only if they believe others will do the same. Professor Buneva underscored the importance of recognizing widespread support for climate action, as misconceptions could impede individual efforts to combat global warming.